fluid, the idea would be is that it really does hit.
It really does hit that, and
It
then
really
follows
does.
it.
Right
yeah.
now, I think it's
more visual. It's more of a
which is
prototype.
fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I think actually on the white one it probably would hit, but if that's the next step,
Yeah.
would be again. I don't know that anybody else will notice.
It would be, no, but I think it's precision because it is part of, it is
Part of the
clearly
design.
not decorative, it is part of an honored process.
Yeah.
So somebody who makes this part of their process, if it doesn't work, then their process is more corrupt than it would be if you just were spilling over.
Yeah.
But and it is no diminishment to suggest that somebody might have to develop a little knack for it. But it is I think it's just a stunning thing.
Thank you.
But it's also interesting because in Japanese restaurants, it's usually the clear glass that they serve the sake in.
I found that as well. Yeah.
That they have the they have the square bamboo box and then they overflow it. I've never seen it done with a sake carafe. I've never seen them overflow that.
Okay.
Always the glass.
Okay.
Always the glass. Like
Okay.
no. So it's usually so when you get a glass of sake and like last night they served a little skinny like mean pour of sake, but in a I use the word mean in design process sometimes. But it's like it's the diameter is probably 2 1/4 inch diameter, like IKEA cup, and like this high. And then they
I've seen
normally
that,
do
yeah.
a heavy pour, and then they do traditional restaurants will do a bamboo box that's the square, and then they pour over, and then you've got about half the box is filled with sake. But that's a pretty dumb glass, and it's a pretty dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gone to its logical iteration of design, and then the bamboo square. So it's interesting because I've never seen it as the sake carafe bottle.
Yeah,
It's
usually
never-
you just get served just like a white sake bottle, and then you do whatever you'd like with
But
that.
yeah,
I don't know. I just
it's nothing. I'm not saying bad or good. I'm saying like you're
Yeah.
also taking the tradition to another place.
I love the performative aspect of it. I think that's something I'm really, interested in general with like all sort of design. But I also think there's some beautiful narratives that you can create from, there's a difference between making a straight carving to making a carving that like leans to the right or leans to the left or plays out in a multiple, has a root system to it. Which I can imagine, even something with 2 spouts, like is that made for like 2 lovers or whatever, like someone who has like a single spout, it's like for a solo drinking experience, or I don't know, I think that there's a lot that you can embed within like the way you even do these carvings, like that becomes more about the overall conceptual story.
Yeah, I definitely
And it seems to lend itself to storytelling
Mm-hmm.
in the way that a lot of Japanese objects are about telling stories.
I'm more into storytelling than just functional design person, so I just prefer.
No, you did well with the functional part too. Don't
Thank you.
discount it.
One of the really cool ideas that I wanted to iterate further on was something I spoke about with Allan, was to put ink inside one of the bottles and then overflow the ink and see where the actual ink went itself, and then carve away where the ink touched.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's
glaze, where you could do glaze,
Yeah.
stylized,
But just be careful with that because the viscosity, the weight of the liquid will be completely different
From
between
each
sake.
liquid.
Yeah,
You're right.
I mean, you may be. I'm just
And
guessing.
how cold it is
You
as
may
well.
want to put some sort of coloring or stain into sake.
That's a good
To get
point.
the sake color,
Yeah.
that's probably not going to affect the viscosity or the weight.
So
of the
that's
liquid.
true to what sake.
Yeah.
Right, because
Yeah.
even so,
I mean, I can tell you, if you put 10W40,
Yeah, that
or
definitely-
it's gonna look a lot
Double
different
C
than
price.
sake,
Right,
which is
so
gonna look
each-
different from water.
because each kind of liquid has its own.
That's really interesting.
Like there's a micron level of blah blah
Yeah.
blah to.
And there's the coefficient of adhesion and all that sort of stuff with liquid.
All there.
There was also just to take it further. I also like just this, which is less functional. It doesn't really flow down only on this side, obviously, but just the representative aspect of it is almost enough for certain vessels. For myself personally, but I definitely think that there can be like different types of these projects.
Sorry.
There's something that intrigues me about this is you're creating, it's like, I don't know if this is the right word, but like almost like a little mini infrastructure of drinking. Like it's
Okay.
like, it's like a canal system or something.
Yeah.
And I'd be interested in seeing if you could further that, like if you could maybe like create like moments of piping or something where
where it disappears into like a closed space, or
exactly, and then maybe like the receptacle itself
Right.
becomes part of this system.
I was-
This weird kind of like hermetic system of drinking. It's so lovely, but I think that to follow through with that would be nice.
Like, what is the relationship
yeah.
between the vessel that catches it and the vessel that is the,
Yeah, if they connect more,
Yeah,
that would be very,
yeah.
Where they would like almost snap together.
yeah.
I think you will have a really interesting challenge if you find it pertinent to high resolution photograph the pouring and the flow, and maybe even try to shoot that at a very high speed, so you can
So you can
slow it
catch it
down
exactly,
and see smoothly. I think it'd be visually very beautiful, but you'd be able to do
You can
much
get
better
ideas
study
from
of it
Yeah, yeah.
than, we did that trip, like, go, how did that work?
Yeah.
Because you're dealing with the
Yeah,
depth
yeah,
of
it's
cut and
so-
all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That's fabulous. Such
Thank
good
you.
critiques. Wow. This is why we have guests. So,
We have other ideas.
repetitious. No, and I thought like with Dale's discussion of a sink in a home. So these things are transcendent. They're conceptual ideas, and they are grounded in craft. And so you could now do a project with, Kohler and get a residency in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, because they have an artist residency program, and redesign bathroom sinks and faucets. And I'll put you in touch with people, because I think this would be great, because now you can redesign the faucets. When you turn on water in the morning, it has the magic. And I think we need to bring magic to people's
I've seen interesting
lives.
concepts that they do those things.
But I think with
Yeah.
and because those are often ceramic, the bowls, they're not always cast iron, they're ceramic, the stuff they use at Kohler. So you
Well,
could
they also-
actually carve into the sinks and the faucets
Very
could be
interesting, yeah.
different kind of forms, and so I think it has huge possibilities. And then Nick was talking about canals. So this now is transcendent. Now you become a landscape architect, and you say, how am I going to get water off this damn building so it doesn't leak back into the building? And I'm going to flow it over the ground plane, and I'm going to carve away rivulets so it becomes a beautiful thing when it rains, and not just a problem.
I love all these.
You know what I mean? So all of these projects, although it comes down to throwing a pot on a wheel, which can't be more ancient, and for
Truly.
that reason beautiful. And I could even see you developing a table that's clay, that you start to work out the tabletop as a landscape where these things are flowing through, and so this thing can grow, and it clearly can become a huge project, a lifetime work, to be honest, or at least a capstone studio. Push it into that direction.
So the one thing we haven't talked about is color.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, and
Good,
so,
good, good.
and so I would say that coming from an architecture background where we never spoke about color for 7 years of education, and for
That's why we're all wearing black.
and we're all
I'm
like,
sorry, I forgot. I knew I forgot something this morning, yes. If I was back at Cuban Institute of Art, I'd be wearing my black, yes.
I would be careful, is what I was going to say, right? So right now, I
I
think
don't
that,
have any knowledge of glazing at
no,
all.
it's actually not the glazing process.
Okay.
It's the. I'm just saying, color has meaning, and
Yeah.
it's one thing to be form making. When you bring color in as a grown up, as a designer, it's not a throwaway thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not giving it
No,
a yes or a no.
It changes the
I'm
whole
just
feel of the piece.
I'm just saying that whatever your intent is, you have to include color as a conversation.
Mm.
So, a lot of times the reason that we work in chipboard or whatever, museum board or whatever you make your models or your things out of, is because it's neutral, it takes out the conversation of color. And it's a whole other course and layer of meaning
Definitely.
that you have to, since I just saw it at this thing last night, and I saw my friend Amy Lau, who's all dressed in white, and she's been dressed in white pretty much all year. And I don't think that she understood the power when she made the decision of wearing all white. And I said, in Chinese culture, wearing all white is power. There are people in China who only wear, especially like people who are CEOs of company. And there's this one woman who's like worth $1 billion, and all she wears is all white or all red.
Hmm.
and I don't know what her shoes look like, but, you know, and it's a power thing. Why did Hillary wear white at one of the debates? Like, you know, like, what, you know, like there's, color is power or not, or it has something to
Make a
say.
decision in the
And
years
so
of
I'm not saying that
process.
these aren't beautiful, totally beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, could go on anybody's whatever. And you need to make it, like, I would have been okay if they were all one color too.
I was actually thinking, I was looking at monochromatic work just this morning, black and white, and I'm more monochromatic myself, and I don't know why I
No,
chose
no,
so
it's-
much color.
So
But-
you're viewing this as I'm saying you're done right or wrong.
No,
I'm
no,
not
I
saying
don't, I
any of
don't.
it. I'm just
Just-
saying, like, think about it.
Okay, thank you.
Based on that comment, which I think was a great comment, I don't know if you guys noticed, but my favorite part of this project is the names that you gave to each of the.
I didn't
Oh,
know.
right.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
I was gonna get up and look.
Each one has a different name, and like each name becomes
Oh, yeah.
a story to each
Yeah, oh, yeah.
thing. And like that's my favorite part of the project.
I didn't get into that, yeah.
Oh, that's really nice.
Okay.
Excellent.
Very- Very nice.
Very nice, really nice.
One tiny thing which is really out of my sphere is I have no idea, but the question comes up for me. Give me the courtesy of not leaving a lot of liquid. The, whether there is anything about the process